Okay. Personnel.
All right, so what you're going to see is in the A fund, we are going to see a slight increase, or actually an increase in that fund primarily due to health insurance. There are some other increases there, but health insurance is driving the increase in the A fund. Additionally, in the professional services line, there is also an increase, but that is also due to reporting for the Affordable Care Act. It's mandated that we report to the IRS, so we have a company that is providing those services to us. Last year, it was covered by the data department. They took on that responsibility last year, and then the cost this year will be seen by the department.
So your increases are mainly the personnel, the fringes,
Correct.
and the health insurance.
Health insurance, yep. And the A fund. As well as the M fund, when we switch over to the M fund, which is our health insurance budget. That has gone up as well. You'll see the increases that are in the A fund. You'll also see those same increases in the M fund, with some additional increases. Due to this year, we're using projections that are from our TPAs. So we're basing our budget on those projections.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, under line item 1110, the financial specialist, that shows an increase.
It does. When we originally established the position in the budget, it was established at a lower rate. There was a clerical error, so we're correcting it in the budget this year.
Wasn't that a partial year too? Or was that all of last year?
It was a full.
Was it a full year?
The position was established for 1/1 of this year, so.
So let me ask you this, if that was a clerical error,
Yeah.
has the person been paid that amount?
No, they've been paid the other amount, and they will not, unless this budget is approved, they would not be paid that amount until such time as that's adopted. If it's not adopted, they'll be paid at the rate that was adopted at for 1/1.
Well, if I was that person, I think I'd be complaining if I thought I was getting something else that I wasn't getting, but I won't.
Well, no, the individual that was hired.
Oh, was it you?
This is Kelly. She's a Kelly Wilder. She's a financial specialist. Who's in that position.
All right, name it.
But the position was established, and she was aware of the salary at the time. It was identified that.
You're supposed to be punched out of your other job.
Well, I know, but I'm always, Robert?
Nicole,
Yeah.
in the maintenance agreement, you have a $1,500 increase on the professional services, you have a $15,000 increase. And both of those from the prior year have seen significant increases. What's driving this?
Well, as for the maintenance agreements, we've got some additional costs in there for the new building. We've got some for MMPs, for our chronos, for our doors. Those are increasing the cost in the maintenance agreements. And then you'll see also, again, in the professional services line, we're talking about the Affordable Care Act reporting that's mandatory. As well as there has been some increase in litigation on our labor side, whether it's arbitration or hearings that are requiring.
And that's not covered under
It's outside.
that's out above and beyond. So
Normal.
if there's arbitration or anything, it's above and beyond the normal monthly contractual.
That's seen here, yes.
Right.
Yep.
And then under the AMP fund, you have an increase of $50,000 in your miscellaneous supporting services, and it's $150,000 swing from the prior year.
Yep. So because there is this increase in the M fund, that line for miscellaneous supporting services is going to increase just the same because that is for the administration of the health insurance. So what would you say a percentage? It will increase based on the increase in the health insurance. So as the health insurance increases, so does the cost for administering it.
Okay.
All right, Barb.
All right. Please forgive me, because I think this is the third time you've answered this question.
Okay.
All right, the professional services,
Are we in the A fund or?
we are, yes, on page 1. For the Affordable Care Act, it's gone up about from 72 to 95 for the professional services. That recording, it's with an outside company?
It is.
What is that outside company?
It's BenefitScape.
Okay.
So they did all of our reporting for last year and again for this year.
How do you feel with, are you comfortable? It is such a,
We actually just got our reports back from them and we had about only 10 errors in it, which is good considering the amount of employees we have. Most people are seeing a 50% error rate.
Wow.
So the fact that we only have 10 employees with something that needs to be fixed, it turned out that those were not something that was on our end, but something on their end, which is great. But all in all, it was fixed and everything was submitted successfully, so.
when another department was here, they have something similar, completely separate, and I kept annoying that person because it was something I felt that could have been useful, and you already have it with this. So this makes me very happy. Excellent. I'm glad you're utilizing something that can be so beneficial. Thank you.
Chairman?
In the professional services, you said some of that money goes for labor disputes.
Yes.
Do you have a breakdown of departments per department? Is there one department in general that just answer yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Could you bring that information with you when you come to our next meeting?
What department is it?
No.
Hypothetically.
So, yeah.
I don't see the harm in
Well,
exposing one.
I would want to just verify my facts before, if you
Okay.
don't mind, and verify
But-
the information first, and then I can bring it to you if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry,
No,
but it's a factor.
Well, it's a factor because if it's a department that for some reason needs some help in controlling labor disputes, it could certainly cost the county money if we don't know what department it is. How do we straighten it out?
we have to take also the contract negotiations if they go to arbitration.
But there is no arbitration other than sheriff's department are the only ones and firemen that have interest arbitration. Otherwise, it's mediation that doesn't cost anything. Right? I know a little bit about that stuff. Somebody had a hand up.
It's non-budgetary, but with the company that you're using for the ACA, I was going to ask for like the 1085. They do those for us? Yeah, doesn't do any of that.
Yes, they do.
It's true.
If there's some things that could be beneficial for us to know, sometimes that could be helpful.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Anyone? Thank you very much. Board of Elections has arrived.
To send the bill to the federal government for the
Terry and Jamie, you're up. Let's see, what page, okay, we're back on the department 11, all right. How you guys doing? Looks like your appropriations are down. Right?
Well, we don't have any election. Don't have the chance of, the possibility for so many elections.
Uh-huh. Why don't you just, if you want, we don't, you know, you got a one-pager here, so your appropriations are down. That's what the driving force that's making that happen? Because the elections are not as,
Right. Yeah, so every 4 years, our appropriations have to almost double, you know, until we get our state legislators to come to a conclusion as to combining the state and federal primary on the same day.
would be helpful.
Yeah, that would at least eliminate one of those elections. And most of the election expenses that we incur are actually charged back to each one of the towns, based on a percentage or number of people. Some of you have been supervisors of the towns in the past, you know you have to account for that. So a lot of the revenue, that one particular line, that is the one area that covers those chargebacks.
So when I'm just looking at printing and copying, going from 56 grand down to 18, it's because you don't have to print and copy so much ballots and, gotcha.
Because we have, you know, the absentees as well as the machine ballots that we have to do.
Same thing with the temporary employees. You don't have to have as many temporary employees, so we see that line going, correct?
Workers. Right.
Poll workers. I don't have anything further. Anyone? Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Well, now we can look towards the county attorney.
You're up, sure.
This is where we get
This is where it
I
gets
saved all
tough.
the tough questions for
This
me,
is
huh?
where it gets tough.
Bring it on. So, would you like me to?
Looks like you're down about $800 or something.
Yeah, and actually I got good news today. My budget will actually go down another $822 because I'm sharing a service with Department of Social Services. So,
Sweet.
Nice. What is the service?
under miscellaneous supporting services, that's the legal law books. I'm splitting that
great.
cost with DSS. So,
And that was how much?
yeah, 822.
All right.
Is there anything in here establishing a voicemail or?
Scary thing, you know? We should make this contingent upon setting up for voice. You just have to dial a couple numbers. You don't even need to do a voice message.
Isn't a
It
real
could just
person
be-
better than a voicemail?
You know, when we get that real person, we get so excited, we forget where we go.
But every appropriation went down. I cut I believe every single line this year. With a savings of $3,722, which might not sound like a lot, but for my small budget, it is.
Sure is.
Crazy.
Martin Kelly had his hand up.
So last year, you were excited that we were going to have some revenue in the line.
Yes.
So contracting with the
IDA, yeah.
That fell through.
Well, early on in the year, there was a discussion that went on with the annexation, a lot of the bigger projects that came on, that my focus and attention would be better spent at that point there. That is a door I would like to explore opening in the future once things calm down a little bit. We have kind of an unusual year. But yeah, so that was, I do have revenues in my budget from 2015 from my work with the IDA, but 2016 it ended up being just a crazy year, so.
2015.
Last year.
Yeah. Yep, it was about $1,200 or something like that.
All right.
Every little bit counts, legislator White.
So actually, you're going backwards. You dropped the revenue, so now you're in the hole.
I won't have any revenue. Historically, the department law has never had any revenue. It was a bad year to try for
You're a
it.
trendsetter.
I wouldn't count it out in the future. Certainly something I would like to do. So.
Okay, nothing else?
No.
Is Matt out there?
Do we have a sheet?
Yeah, it's just.
No, you don't have a sheet for Matt.
Okay.
So you just go off the cost of
That was inappropriate.
All sticking.
Oh, we do have that sheet.
No, that's the appropriation.
I mean, we can see the lines.
That's surprising.
Make a nice one. There's no zone.
I have to
They're magic.
Well, there you go.
Do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
So, did you guys look at the back of your pictures?
We didn't look at it bad, no.
They mailed them here.
Nice.
That's so beautiful.
Very nice. Very nice. Good bunch of kids.
The piano too.
You
Should
All
have.
right, who's missing? Martin?
Missing pool.
County executive.
Oh,
He's here. He's out there farting around the hall.
Sanitary district's out there too.
We already did that.
Oh, you did?
I told Bobby to go home. Oh, by the way, in the sanitary sewer budget, I forgot to mention one thing. All the salaries were lined out of there to zero.
Great.
They were all, so that was part of that. I believe, right, Sean? They were all lined out to zero. Matt,
Yes, sir.
county exec, your
You'll
last,
have a budget to be in there. The only real change that I think we're gonna discuss once again was something that we didn't, was in last year and didn't, the change that Ken talked about. But other than that, I expect to probably reduce the number of lines in my budget, just given this is a tough year. And, you know, we had talked about the economic development tourism being in the executive budget that we put back last year. I think Ken has a point, you know, vouchers and things like that are signed by me, Ken doesn't have a lot to do with it. I think would make more sense that it's in my budget, but, you know, again, if it came down to getting the budget done, you know, it's not, I think it's a deal breaker, you know. But I imagine, you know, I'll probably take self-imposed cut to professional services this year, you know, there'll be no additional staff. Mine's pretty straightforward.
questions for Matt?
We had well, actually, it was in this budget, we can now put it in color at the office, which is nice, but that's gonna be a reduction in this budget.
Matt, one thing I wanted to talk about, it's outside of your budget.
Yeah. I'm less worried about my budget than all the other 20-something budgets.
So, what I was hoping we could do Thursday night,
Yeah.
we have Mike coming in for the Department of Social Services, and then we just have our little whatever we want to do. One of the things I'd like to be able to do Thursday night, and just have everybody thinking about this, is, you know, we have our timeline. September 5th, 2016, the tentative budget should be filed by the executive, you know, by then. By September 10th, the exec and the county treasurer shall meet with the budget and finance. We need to set that date. September 25th, the Budget and Finance Committee of the legislature shall conduct a public hearing by the 25th. I know there's some of you going to NISAC in that week. So what I was hoping to do Thursday night, if we could, is try to finalize a real timeline, not just this, but, you know, some real dates and times.
Yeah.
If we could do that Thursday, so I'm hoping that, if you're good with that, maybe you can give us
Yeah, I'll bring it together.
I think that September 2nd is a Friday, and you're not going to give it to us on
Labor Day is.
Labor Day, so you know, it'd probably be Tuesday the 6th. That might be, or unless we get it Friday, if we did have it Friday the 2nd, maybe we could meet that following week,
Yeah.
you know, because otherwise we're only going to have until the 10th. You give it to us on Tuesday the 6th, and then Friday's the 10th. You got, you know,
I'm not-
9th is Friday. Saturday's the 10th.
so we would have to actually meet Friday the 9th, Thursday the 8th, or Wednesday the 7th, if you don't give it to us till Tuesday the 6th. So maybe it would help us.
Well, I think, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're aiming to get it before Labor Day weekend and get that to you.
If that happens, it would help us with that date.
Yeah, and also this year, I'm actually not going to do a formal speech. Frankly, I think I'm a little speeched out from 21 of them I've done this year, that Brian's been to 7 of them.
Is that it?
So what you're gonna get this year is a budget message, the executive budget. I would also like to, we're gonna include the capital plan with the executive budget that we've discussed. There's still some finalization that needs to be done by the committee. As well as, I think, you know, just throwing it out there, I think there are changes in the budget to any personnel lines, you know, especially if it's like the non-bargaining or something like that, that should probably be updated at the same time. So kind of packaging it all together and get it to you guys before Labor Day weekend. Then, you know, we'll take it from there.
If we can set our timeline up, it gives everybody
Yeah.
more than enough time in advance. We could talk about these dates, and that way we know we got full participation.
So,
All right, so we'll do that Thursday night, or try to.
Yeah.
If anybody, does everybody have a copy of this?
What is it?
It's
The-
the timeline.
No.
I had it before, but I can make copies.
Maybe you should make a copy for everybody, just so they just see the time constraints that we do have.
I definitely don't want that date, please.
All right. Terry, you have a question?
Well, if we have some time, I would like to talk a little bit about do you have any idea of the amount of fund balance you think you're going to be using?
well, again, that's gonna come down to the amount of cuts we make, obviously. I think, you know, there's a few areas that you know we can make some significant cuts and still, you know, not significantly cut services and prevent any large layoffs or anything. So the real tough part is going to be that last million maybe. So we obviously, the goal is to try to get just close to that 3.54 million as we've been in the past. I mean, I think that's going to be the goal, but it's going to come down to, you know, viable, you know, needed positions and needed services or needed contracts that have to go and see what we can live without. And so it's, I feel like, for example, you know, in Paul's budget, you know, I think he asked for 1.5 million for his road maintenance line, which is funded at, we funded about 750,000. You know, there's a chunk of change right there, you know. So the short answer is we're hoping to get it as close to $4 million as safe to say as possible. You know, I really want to present you guys with something that's very realistic. And obviously, just like up to now, we've all been part of the process of working together on it. But you know, that's the goal, is to get you at 0.5% and in the ballpark of $4 million. That's why I put it out there, just so the departments know that there's cuts coming. We have a full department head meeting tomorrow, which I'm going to reiterate to them. Essentially, you know, please forward me some items that you feel like you could live without, and you know, then we'll focus on those first. And if not, then we're going to go in and do it. So
Is
I think it's going to come down to really, you know, the four big departments, DSS, DPW, personnel, and public health, and the sheriff. Yeah, public health is not a lot of good. I almost had what is it, the guy from Texas? I almost had one of those moments where it's like, the three departments we don't need.
Matt,
You know, for example, our work is going to be cut out for us in DSS. In DSS alone is 2.5 million of that 5 million.
Right.
Matt, is it,
So that's really where the rubber's going to meet the road, frankly.
if you're going to request the department heads to submit to you probably something like a priority list
Yeah.
of how,
Absolutely.
can you forward us their prioritized list so that we know that when we're,
What I'll do is, and I want to leave it somewhat open to them, but I'll say, you know, basically what I'll ask is I'll request any of those, that correspondence to be an email, that way I can just print them out for you.
that'd be
But
great.
we're going to have to go beyond that, no doubt about it.
Right.
And I think.
Well, even if they prioritize, even though they're saying we don't want to cut it, but prioritize what really needs, you know, if something's got to go, this is first, second, third, because that helps us out too, and working together with you that we can,
And the challenge is, if you look at any of these requests on the individual merits of them alone, they're valid requests. It's just
absolutely.
putting it all together and making some of these tough decisions of what is more important than the other. That's where, and frankly, understanding, you know, the DSS budget is incredibly complicated, and, you know, we're seeing, you know, foster care and safety net go through the roof. You know, the number of foster care cases that we've had to place has almost doubled since just new government started. And that's not anyone's fault in DSS, it's not anyone's fault in this legislature, it's just the world we're living in. It's sad, frankly.
All right.
If, the other thing that is definitely important for us to know, if it's covered by grants, if it's covered, repaid, that being said, like if there's positions that are 60% covered, it's still 40% less. So all of that information.
Or a grant or whatever it's an equal swap. We don't want to cut something or think about, if there's a revenue side to it, that's,
Right.
Exactly.
all right. Well, you know, on our finance agenda tonight, we have the chamber coming in to do a presentation, but we have a few resolutions along with these add-ons that we can get to before the sheriff gets here.